That's hard for somebody that ain't never really been in no trouble. And we got to sit here and these people sit here and give us a capital murder charge for something we ain't even do. We get past that and turn right around and then put you in there for life.
A quarter century behind bars, but tonight the Waverly Two free and sharing their side of the story.
What it is, what it do, what it be like. Welcome back to What the Hell News, where everything we react to, we gonna be like, what the hell, man. Now we back with another video, bro. And this video, man, is interesting. I had to react to it because it just come to show you, man, when you a certain color in this country, you can be wrongly accused of something that you haven't done. And you know, that bring me to this video we finna react to. Two brothers, man, they was wrongly convicted. One named Terrence Richardson and Ferron Claiborne. Two guys, they was wrongly convicted in 1998 for unaliving a police officer, a white police officer at that. Wrongly accused. They went to court. They was found not guilty. They didn't have no evidence, and they still came back and convict them and gave them life, bro. How that sound? Where they do that at? You know what I'm saying? Only in America, bro. And so, you know, we're gonna react to this because these guys finally got out after like 28 years of their life wasted in prison for nothing, for something they didn't do, and they speaking out about it, man. We're gonna dive into this reaction, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Let's get it.
That's hard for somebody that ain't never really been in no trouble. And we got to sit here and these people sit here and give us a capital murder charge for something we ain't even do. We get past that and turn right around and then put you in there for life.
A quarter century behind bars, but tonight the Waverly Two free and sharing their side of the story.
The interview you will see only on 8, coming 10 years after we first learned they've been found not guilty of killing a Waverly police officer, but ended up sentenced to life in prison anyway.
A president commuted Terrence Richardson and Ferron Claiborne's federal sentences. An attorney general supported overturning the state felony. And of course, they're no longer in a cell, but they tell me they fear they'll never escape the dark cloud hanging over their heads since 1998.
I felt betrayed. Like, how is this even possible?
Nearly 3 decades later.
It's like you thrown straight into the lion's den. You ain't never experienced none of this before.
2 men, baffled and distraught.
These people tried to kill us twice. Twice? They tried to kill us.
Contemplating how they ended up in handcuffs twice and then in federal prison in connection to a 1998 crime they're adamant they didn't commit.
We go in there as young men, we come out, we great. I got to stand in the mirror and look at this every day.
Terrence Richardson and Ferron Claiborne.
Say, I ain't lying. That would do something to you, bro. Like, you see how young them dudes was, and you get out, you gray everywhere. Like, and the time you spent, you know, you spent in jail. Waste of time, waste of your life, dog. Like, basically, that's what it was. A waste of their time, bro. That's cold. That's cold. Knowing you ain't do that. That put me in the mind of the movie Life. 2 brothers, you know, two black men at that, get accused for killing somebody. They ain't do it. That, I'm telling you, that's just like the life. Just like the movie Life, man. And they was gave life. How ironic that is.
Say they were shell-shocked when Sussex County prosecutors charged them with killing Waverly police officer Alan Gibson during a struggle with Gibson's gun. But 17 months later, in December 1999, plea deals for Claiborne, a misdemeanor in freedom that day. For Richardson, felony involuntary manslaughter, 5 years behind bars. There will be a lot of people watching this at home thinking, well, why plead guilty to something you know you didn't do?
I allowed the lawyer to scare me back into it because he's sitting there and said, we understand that even if you didn't do it, they going to make somebody wear this case. And right now, it's y'all. And you're going to get the death penalty. So what are we supposed to do? And it took us 26 years to get out. So where would we be now? We wouldn't even be right here.
The potential fate awaiting them at the time of their state pleas, Virginia's speedy death row executions, within 6 years on average, the fastest in the country. But in our Taking Action team's review of court records, this letter from 9 months before those pleas states the Commonwealth's attorney was not pursuing the death penalty, and at least Richardson's lawyer knew it. Do you feel that exemplifies how weak their case actually was?
I think it exemplifies the fact they knew it wasn't us. Because if you thought that we actually killed, two black men actually killed a white police officer, you going for that death penalty.
Did you know that was not on the table?
He didn't tell us. Because he told us that day that you could get the death penalty.
Another reason for their pleas, their attorneys and state prosecutors recently testified that in 1999, they didn't know about other evidence that local and state police had, an eyewitness description, a photo lineup, and an anonymous tip, all pointing to a different suspect.
David Chappell, which was the Commonwealth attorney, I think he testified that
He didn't know. He didn't have it.
So he's prosecuting the case, and he didn't have it. It was impossible for us to have it.
Those pieces of evidence supported Officer Gibson's own descriptions before he died. One coming from a 9-year-old girl.
So right around the corner. So when she hears the shot, she ducks over this way to look.
She saw a, quote, fat man with dreadlocks, not a match for either of the so-called Waverly Two.
She gave a description that didn't fit me nor Terrence. And not only that, they disregarded what the officer said, his dying declaration.
A declaration Officer Gibson made right here 28 years ago in the woods next to the Waverly Village Apartments, that complex of...
So how you get a heavy set man with dreads mixed, like confused with two men? This one man, these two guys. Like, come on, man, that's a red flag right there. You know. Second is like they just wanted to put the blame on somebody else. They just wanted to get a conviction. That's what that be about, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's messed up. You know, they just was looking for a conviction. That's all. They ain't care who it was.
Former hangout for the Waverly Two.
No further than from here to the old air conditioning unit was the police dog. So if I was out here, why that police dog didn't come to me? He would have had my scent. That's what makes me mad.
That anger resurfaced shortly after their 1999 state pleas as federal prosecutors appeared with new drug charges and again, charges for Gibson's murder.
They know for a fact that we didn't commit this.
Right.
They went to trial this time in 2001, the federal jury finding them not guilty of murder, but the drug charge, guilty. Then the judge executed a rare legal maneuver using their state guilty pleas to determine their federal sentences. Life with no parole. With no hope. Until our 2017 8 News investigation, when wrongful conviction attorney Jared Adams saw their case.
I mean, this is important to me for a number of different reasons.
Wrongfully convicted himself, Adams argues law enforcement hid the evidence that could have cleared Richardson and Claiborne of everything. Over the years, garnering more support to review their case.
During Christmas time, like, people were sending us cards from, like, United Kingdom, Canada, all over the United States.
By early 2021, then Attorney General Mark Herring learned of their story and of Richardson's petition for a writ of actual innocence to overturn his plea, a process Claiborne's misdemeanor plea isn't eligible for. But Herring's team's review did find, quote, no rational fact finder would have found Richardson guilty had all the evidence been presented. Then Jason Miyares won the AG race and reversed that position.
It's 10,000 pages to this case. There's no way you did it in 29 days.
Without the state support, Richardson has faced an uphill battle across various state courts for the past 4 years.
Well, we got to keep on wearing a title of a cop killer?
Living in fear, coming home and still being uneasy because of, the title.
Back at the Supreme Court last month, they're now waiting to see if Richardson will get one last opportunity to make his case there.
We get to walk out of this courtroom not only with hope, but we get to walk out with the freed men behind us.
But because last year, former President Joe Biden commuted their life sentences for the drug convictions, they are at least home. They say they're working constantly to get readjusted.
We had flip phones and pages.
Hanging out together and with family, writing more books like the ones they wrote together in prison, even designing a clothing line. And they keep praying Richardson is granted his writ of actual innocence so they might both be cleared one day.
I'm reaching out to Jay Jones and whoever else is in position to help us.
Go back and look at what Mark Hearn and their integrity unit did. They took months to go back and investigate. They went and talked to people. Are you saying that they was wrong?
Do you feel optimistic you're going to get the outcome you want eventually?
Eventually. And I don't know how long that journey is. Only God knows.
They are in part eager to get help from Attorney General Jones because when he was a state delegate, he was critical of then AG Mark Herring's handling of the case. His office says he cannot comment now until the Supreme Court decides. But 4 years ago, he said both men deserved a full review of their case. That is somewhat similar to what we heard in 2020 from Officer Gibson's daughter, Chrisanna Gibson. At the time, she sent us a statement saying, quote, "I want the persons responsible for my father's murder to be held fully accountable for their actions. If that is not Terrence and Ferran, I want justice done for them, and it must not stop there." However, it's important to note that last year she did publicly post on social media saying she does believe the Waverly Two killed her father. I did try multiple ways to reach out to her and the Gibson family to understand how they're feeling about this now, and I haven't heard back yet.
Two things strike me in watching that piece. One, this is a very emotional time for both of them.
Yes, and it is because they've missed so much with their families, right? And they're kind of reminded about that every day. And they were really adamant that they wanted to talk about why they pleaded guilty. A lot of people may not know this, but even for people who are exonerated by DNA evidence, at least 10 to 20% of those people pleaded guilty. So we do see people plead guilty to things that they didn't commit. What they want the state to determine is that that's them as well.
Second thing that struck me is though they are walking around right now outside of prison, they are free, but they don't feel free.
No, and in addition to just like federal restrictions that they're still under, they just feel like this dark cloud follows them everywhere they go. Their supporters believe them, but they feel like they're still kind of up against the wall. And frankly, they wonder, even if the state overturns the plea, whether that will change hearts and minds for everyone.
That's a harder thing to do.
Yeah. Well, for our full coverage of this story, you can scan this QR code here. It will.
Yeah, man, and yeah, just that the last statements they was talking about is like, when you have something like that on your jacket, bro, even if it get overruled, they can get it off their record. It's still following them within the community, within the environment, like even trying to get jobs and do certain things, like that's just something that's gonna be with them. You feel me? And that mess people up, man, for furthering their life, trying to better their life, their situation, things like that. Another thing, they missed out on a lot of stuff, being with family, like missing a whole decade, like a whole new generation, new technologies, things that change, clothes that change, the fashion, just all kind of stuff, man. Like when you gone like that for a certain time, bro, it be hard to adjust, man. People be messed up mentally in the head. They be having to readjust, to society, man. And that ain't an easy thing for everybody. You feel me? And to be convicted for something you didn't do, you didn't do, that's cold, man. The daughter of the police officer, she have every right to feel some type of way, but at the end of the day, man, them dudes, you can see it in their face. Like, them dudes ain't do that. You feel me? And what the evidence is? They ain't must have no real evidence, So, come on, man. And the thing about them pleading guilty, man, sometimes you be having to, they be telling you, plead guilty. A lot of dudes plead guilty, bro, because, like, if you take it to trial, most likely, they be scared to take it to trial because they feel like if you take it to trial, you're going to get found guilty and they going to max you out. If they have to go to trial, and you found guilty, they going to max you out and give you the most. You know, they gonna give you the highest bidder. You know, so that's, in their case, that was the death penalty. So that's why them dudes said, "Oh, guilty." You know, they pled guilty. Like, it's crazy how the system side up, bro. You know, they do that because so they won't have to spend money. They be having to spend money to take things to trial. That would it be about, a money thing. So that's why, in a lot of cases, it's good for you to have a lawyer, a good lawyer at that. You feel me? Because you can't go to trial no public defender, man. It's rare if you win it, you know, but not in the system in America, bro. It's designed for you to lose, bro. See how they ain't have nothing on them dudes and they still came back and banged and slammed them with life? That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. Like, that's why I like touching on this type of stuff, these type of topics. I'm gonna start covering a lot because it need to get out. You know, it need to be exposed. It need to be looked at, man. You know, the way our people get done, man. And just anybody, it don't have to be black, but you know, I'm rooting for my people because we get done dirty every single day, dog. You know what I'm saying? And it got to get put in the spotlight. You feel me? But man, I just wanted to react to that, man. Y'all like, comment, man. If you like the content, subscribe, hype this thing up for your boy, man, and comment. Let me know y'all opinions, man. What y'all think? How y'all feel about that? You feel me? Because sometimes we gotta put ourselves in other people's shoes, other people's positions, man. And man, I just can't see me laying down for something I didn't do, knowing I'm innocent, bro. That's the worst thing ever. You feel what I'm saying? That's cold. That's just like the movie Life, though. Just like life, man. But man, I'm